praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Habrakakodash. You know what I'm saying? Double honors to our apostles and elders, very great millstone. I thought of this video because I came across this video by a man named Anthony Ray Hinton, a man who spent 30 years of his life in prison wrongfully convicted. And this is one more reason why we got to get the hell out of Babylon. I'm going to let it play for just maybe like a minute.
There stood two white gentlemen that I've never seen before. I said, "Can I help you?" He said, "We have a warrant for your arrest. We want you to put your hands behind your back." I showed my mother the handcuff, and like any good mother, she began to scream and holler, "What are those handcuffs doing on my baby?" This seemed to set the detective off. He turned around, he looked at me, and he said, "We have decided that we're going to charge you with 2 counts. First-degree capital murder." I said, "But I haven't done any of that. You got the wrong person." He said, "Let me tell you something right now. I don't care whether you did it or didn't do it." He said, "But I'm going to make sure you found guilty. By the way, there's 5 things that are going to convict you." He said, "Number 1, you black. Number 2, a white man is going to say you shot him. Whether you shot him or not, I don't care." He said, "Number 3, you're going to have a white prosecutor. Number 4, you're going to have a white judge. And number 5, you're going to have an all-white jury." He said, "Do you know what that spelled?" And he looked at me and he said, "Conviction, conviction, 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 conviction." He said, "I really believe you didn't do it." He said, "But since y'all is always taking up for one another," he said, "take this for your homeboy." I goes before a judge. The judge proudly stand up and say, "Anthony Ray Hinton, you have been found guilty, and it is the order of this court that I sentence you to death."
So, and you know what's unfortunate about that? That's extremely common. This is just one of the millions of stories that's actually been reported on. You know how many Israelites are sitting in prison right now, all because of Esau, Edom, all because they're at the wrong place at the wrong time, all because the devil, the spirit of Satan, was working on this Edomite to say, "Look, I want that one to take the fall." Plant evidence, plant crack, plant all that, abuse of power. But yet people want to stay here. You can't stay here, man. Why would you want to sit here and raise your children into a society where you know that they can fall victim of this at any time? You understand? There has to be a change in law enforcement. There has to be a change in the courts. There's none of that. Okay, the whole system is rigged. You want to know why? Because the person that's in charge is Esau, Edom. In fact, as I said that, scriptures say clear as day. Sirach chapter 10, verse 2, it says, "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein." The ruler of this world is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. There is no justice. He is not a man of justice. He by nature is everything that the scripture says that the Most High hates. And that's what this video is about, is the power of a false witness. King Solomon, he especially hated false witnesses. If you read Proverbs, and the Most High hates it too. If you read Proverbs 6 and 16, it says, these six things doeth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination to him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. And guess who fits all of these 6 things? Esau, Edom. From the proud look all the way to a false witness, this is what he does by nature. And if he is the ruler, then such are the officers, such are the judges, such are the jury. such as the damn receptionist at the damn municipal court. They're all the same. You understand? Now, if you turn to the book of Susanna, which is in the Apocrypha, you got a woman named Susanna, a sister, and she, from this chapter read, it looks like she from the tribe of Judah. Right, so she's a very beautiful woman, and you had two wicked Israelite men who, you know the story. You know, they saw her, they lusted after her, and they gave her one option, right? She was either going to commit adultery with them, or what? They was going to cause her to be put to death. How exactly? Well, let's see. There's a book of Susanna. Okay, 1. Verse 9, it says, "And they perverted their own mind and turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven, nor remember just judgments. And albeit they both were wounded with her love, yet durst not one show another his grief. For they were ashamed to declare their lust, that they desired to have to do with her." I'll jump down. So this one, she was out, and she was bathing. Verse 20. Now start at 19. "Now, when the maids were gone forth, the two elders rose up and ran unto her, saying, Behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us, and we are in love with thee. Therefore consent unto us, and lie with us. If thou wilt not, we will bear witness against thee, that a young man was with thee, and therefore thou didst send away thy maids from thee." So they saw, they ran down, they closed the door. They said, "Look, nobody knows we're here. You're going to lay with the both of us because we love you. And if you don't, we're going to bear false witness to you and say that we caught you in here with another man, and you're going to be called adultery before the congregation, and we're going to suggest that you should be put to death." But she said, verse 22, "Then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side. For if I do this thing, it is death unto me, because it's adultery. And if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands. It is better for me to fall into your hands and do it not, than to sin in the sight of the Lord." With that, Susanna cried with a loud voice, and the two elders cried out against her. Then ran the one and opened the garden door. So when the servants of the house heard the cry of the garden, they rushed in at the privy door to see what was done unto her. But when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed. But there was never such a report made of Susanna. And it came to pass the next day, when the people were assembled to her husband Jotham, the two elders came also full of mischievous imaginations against Susanna, to put her to death. So she denied them and screamed out. They, out of shame, said, "Well, we're going to go with our lie, and we're going to bear false witness against you." And they did it before the congregation, and they sounded oh so convincing to get that whole congregation to believe, even her own husband, which he probably, was just in shame to believe that this thing had happened. But they caught her in the attempt of the act of adultery, or committing the act of adultery. It says, and said before the people, "Send for Susanna, the daughter of Chelkis, Jehoam's wife." And so they sent,